Can you hear me? Good
Yeah, I can hear
evening.
you loud and clear.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you for sacrificing your Friday nights to be here. You look good, actually.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's fine. How was the day?
It was okay. I went to work as usual. 9 to 5 here. One of my colleagues is here. Oh my goodness. I have Tamino and Ekere. Thank you so much for joining.
I
Sorry, that was.
okay. Mark is here. Mark, good evening. Um, that's good. So let's just get right into the conversation. This is my third episode of Ep3, and this topic is something that I've always wanted to discuss with somebody, and you're the perfect person because you kind of guided me towards that direction and kind of gave me hope to that. So I wanted you to share basically the same thing you told me to my audience and all of that. So the topic is the fear of getting older, and it's something that I know resonates with a lot of people. It's like once people get to a certain age, whether you're a guy or you're a lady, at a certain age, you start panicking. There's that panic that, okay, I'm actually getting to this point in my life and I've still not gotten to where I am, or but there's just you're just feeling that there's something missing. There's a missing piece to you. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, at what age did you actually think you figured out what you wanted to do? Like you figured out your life, and this is the path I want to go.
Okay. To be honest, there's no. I wouldn't necessarily say there was a particular age where I figured out my life, what I wanted to do, right?
Yeah,
But I will tell you that when I turned 25, I just knew that, you know what, I don't know how to farm. And what I have is just my certificate. I needed to put into good use. And that was one of the reasons why I might not necessarily know that I wanted to do HR, even though my first degree and my second degree is both in HR.
mm,
I sort of just, you know what, I mean, I have a HR degree. Why not just start HR, start something in HR and just see how it goes? That was why I was able to take the gamble. And I want to just say a big shout out to my mom. She's one of the reasons why she is the main reason why I studied HR, to be honest. So yes. With that being said, I think for me it was when I turned 25, I realized that I needed to do something about my life because
yeah,
my taste was a bit you know. So I
yeah,
need to ensure that nobody's going to give me that money. I need to get the money by myself, just so
yeah,
that I can maintain my own lifestyle. It might not necessarily be large, but I love my convenience, to be honest. So whatever is going to put my convenience first, I'm going to do it. So that's one of the reasons when that pushed me towards like just starting in HR. And then I was very open-minded. If HR did not work, I already learned tailoring and I had a store. When I finished uni, my dad got me a store. So I had like a store already,
yeah,
you know. So I was like, last class, the HR doesn't work. I go to my store and open. I already had like the concept and everything. So, and then one reason why I said 25 is more of the progressive thing was because every other year, as I was getting older, every other year I was learning something. I was always learning something. I was always learning something. Oh, this is how they used to do it. So this is how I am right now. So this kind of person I want to be. This is kind of adult I am right now. That kind of thing. So yes, there was no particular age, but I feel that so that you don't put yourself under any pressure.
yeah,
Honestly, just be open-minded and start. One of the things that helped me, I would say, was self-discovery. I wish I started doing self-discovery a long time ago, trying to know yourself, trying to know what triggers you. I see myself when time I'm feeling some kind of way. If I'm sensing jealousy in my spirit, I will sit myself down and analyze myself and say, okay, Jacob, this is jealousy, this is witchcraft. You know, just knowing yourself helps you to pivot every single year,
yeah,
or every single stage you are in life. The thing I used to do in my 20s, I don't do it now in my 30s. I have more sense now, you know. And I'm not saying I have like the best sense, but I'm sure the things I'll be doing in my 30s, I probably will not be doing in my 40s.
yeah.
So yeah,
That's the
thank you.
thing. Okay. So that means basically you basically figured out, okay, this is the path I want to go to at that age.
Yeah.
You know, that is something. So do you think that someone who didn't figure, let's say you have a situation where at that age the person is still not sure of where the person like he wants to go to or she wants to go to or the path that he wants to go to. So do you think giving yourself grace or just allowing things to work out the time it works out would allow the person to, you still have confidence that, as I'm still getting older, despite the fact I've not gotten anything, and there's still some hope for me. So, what will you say in that situation? If you see someone in that situation, like, okay, you told someone the story that you figured out what you wanted to do or the path you wanted to take, and you actually started working towards those things. But someone still at that age, and has not gotten to, you tell the person your story, and the person be like, I'm still here, but I'm not seeing anything. So what do you think you can tell that person?
Hmm. It is well. Oh. That's like my new mantra, to be honest.
Mm,
There's no like I always used to say. I always used to say my friend. And I always tell my friends is that everybody has like a template of how he wants to move with his life. Just because it worked for me, though, would never mean it will work for you. It might work better for you, even, or not even work at all. But the thing is that if you don't try, how would you know? I'll give an example. I was talking to someone today. We're talking about like how Abuja, the salary right now in Abuja is really horrible. And people earning 100,000, people earning 80,000. You expect them to still like get to work and back. It's not enough, to be
yeah.
honest.
And they
But
don't want to compromise. That's it,
yeah, and
basically.
you don't want to compromise. But guess what? Um, if you don't actually accept the job and try using that money every other month until you get to the wit's end and say, okay, that money has finished. I can actually cannot. If you will never know because you sitting down. Oh my God, they give you a job of 120,000. I'm not saying that's the best salary, to be honest. They can do better. They give you a job of 120,000, and then you be like, I stay in Barimpa, and for people that are not in Abuja,
Yeah.
I would say like maybe 15 kilometers away
Mm,
to walk every other day. That's like 30 kilometers to and fro. And then you have to spend about 70,000. You ask yourself, well, how much will I now eat from that money? And
yeah.
everything. And then you're like, I'm not going to take the job. If you don't take the job, how would you know? So, yes, you might be whatever age you are, and you don't know what you want to do next, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you're not Olodo. So I'm pretty sure there's something you must have thought about. Or someone is doing something, you want to copy them. If you don't copy them or if you don't see it, how would you know?
So, but
Just try.
so when you're saying copying, there's a very big advantage of there's a very big advantage of copying someone, and because copying would actually entitle you to start comparing yourself to other people. And
Okay.
doing that, comparison is one of the biggest. I see a lot of people
It's a
face
thief
that
of
a
joy.
lot. What?
Yeah. A
So when
thief
you
joy.
compare a lot, yeah, and you don't know that it actually affects, one's mental health because you're saying this, you're getting all of this at you got all of this at a certain age. So when you're trying to copy the person, but you don't actually know the process that person actually went through to get to that point, and when you're trying to copy that lifestyle or you're trying to copy that person's stage or process, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So will you really suggest that copying is like, won't you just try
So
to,
maybe let me create more context on
yeah,
when I said copying. So when I say copying, I'm saying I'm trying to be like, not
yeah,
necessarily exactly because it can never be exactly, but trying to be like. I'll give an example. People who have learned how to sew, apprentice, right?
yeah,
That's how we call it in Hausa, apprenticeship. So people who have gone for apprenticeship and are learning how to sew, they tend to learn, cut, sew,
yeah,
and deal with customers just like how their boss does. Now, if a human being or even an adult is behaving like his own boss, where he's learning how to sew or whatever, would you not say he's copying his boss? That's
yeah,
necessarily not to be a bad thing. But copying someone or learning from someone, I think that will be a better word. Learning from someone and also understanding yourself to know what you can take, what you can do, and what you cannot do. Because at the end of the day, as much as it is important for you to get a job, I think following your passion is super important. Do you know why? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
when you try something and then you're trying out of your passion, what now happens is that when you go and get stuff, because you have passion for it, you use it as a fuel to push yourself. That's how I feel personally. Because at the end of the day, the whole point is for you to succeed, right? If you don't try, you never know. If you never know, that means you've never tried as an adult.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, when you have also seen people I have people that I look up to, I might not necessarily behave like them, but there's some certain attributes that they have that I have copied. Um, I'll give an example. I have someone who is a senior HR person that never goes to a new place empty-handed.
Mm.
That's me copying him. I've learned that from him. They say your gift will open doors for you.
It's true, sir.
So yeah.
I
And
was,
then
yeah,
for
said it.
comparison, it is
Yeah.
safe for you to compare yourself with a lot of people. Honestly, it's normal. It is very, very normal for you to say, but this person, now, wow, me and him went to uni together, or me and him went to secondary school, or primary school. Why are we not the same space, And to be honest, it's okay. It is very, in fact, when they're talking about emotions, right? It did not sound so deep right now. But when you're talking about emotions, there's happiness, there's joy, there's anger, there's jealousy, there's envy, there's
Yeah, and you
witchcraft.
know, some you see out of all these attributes you just mentioned, people actually get carried away, especially when it comes to jealousy and anger. Because
Very
when you'll
true.
be like, damn, what am I doing that this person is doing and the person is blessing me? And that's how this whole thing will just start building up and people actually get carried away and it just affects their mental health and all. So
Very true. My sister
um,
said something very profound, if I may read, please.
so
I think your passion can be different from your career. Your career can fuel your passion, which is very correct.
yeah.
So obviously, if your passion is playing football, right? Obviously, you should go for it. If your passion is learning tailoring, you should go for it. Whatever your passion is, I think you should go for it, but also look for something that is a bit more sustainable. Ultimately, for me, I would like to own like my business. So that's why I'm doing the 9 to 5 to gather as much as I can, invest as much as I can, just so that I can pivot into like being a owner of a business. So yeah, I think I greatly agree to that statement. Your passion can be different from your career. That's true, and both of them can also be the same.
Okay, that's very wise words from you. Thank you. So there's something I saw on Twitter. There's this guy I think it was, I've forgotten the post, but the guy tweeted there's an adage that says 20s is where you take risk and 30s is where you start living. So what does that actually mean? Because it can mean different things to different people. So to you, what does that tweet mean to you? Like those words.
Okay. First of all, I think there are two sides of this coin. Some might think that it's putting someone under undue pressure, meaning that if you're not in if you get to your 30s, like you should have figured things out. It's not always like that, though. One thing I've learned is not always like that.
Yeah.
Did not didn't Abraham had wisdom, he was kind, but he waited for how long before he got his child? You know, there was that waiting period. There's no time when God would visit you. There's no time when that idea will strike. That's the honest truth. So it might not necessarily be in your 30s or your 20s, but that's just one side of the coin. Now, my own personal opinion. This statement is very true. In fact, I resonate with this statement. Although in my 20s, there was a lot of things I wanted to do in my 20s. There was a lot of things, but I didn't have the money.
Ego.
Hey, I didn't have the money. In my 20s, that was when flight was
20
going to
something
the UK was
thousand
like
naira.
700. Yes,
That was not too
yes, in
long
my
ago. That was
20s.
2023. That
In
was
my 20s, I
2022,
was flying to Lagos
2023.
for 50,000 to and fro. Yes. In my 20s, I was planning to Lagos 20, for 50,000, 60,000. You know, going abroad was even very cheap. Unfortunately, I never even went when flight was cheap. It's now that, oh God, I beg. It is well
So
low. But yeah, so for me, in your 20s, you should take risks as much as you can. And then in your 30s also, that is when you should have those multiple risks you kept on calculated risks that you kept on taking while in your 20s. You should have learned something from it so that in your 30s you'll be a better person. I'll give you a typical example. So in my 20s, I would say I was reckless with money. I was saving money, but the money was also saving me,
mm,
right? And who stays in Abuja would understand what this thing means. So you can think your 20s that you're saving money, but the money will be saving you too. So in my 20s, to be honest, I was not saving. All my savings was going towards my accommodation.
like
Because
bills, a lot of I think.
yeah, just paying
What?
of bills.
Yeah.
So you will save money. Then I used to do thrifts. Yes. If you can get a good community, you might get do thrift. Especially if you lack saving habits. That will teach you how to save because when you know you're collecting somebody's money, you have to pay them back. Even they will shame you. But anyway, like I was saying, so in your 20s, I took a lot of risks, but now in my 30s, I am
Yeah.
very cautious with my cover. I invest. I, if I ask my family members, there's this, they know me with buying stocks now. That I'm in my era of buying stocks. I started last year, but like some things happened, so I took a pause. And when I went home back home this last holiday, I saw my sister's portfolio was I was seeing multiples there. I said, me that taught you. So I'm in that era where I'm investing. I'm in that era where I am taking calculated risks and knowing when to say no and when to pull out from those investments. And that was
Yeah.
because I had taken those huge risks in my
In your
20s.
20s.
Yes, and then I was able to hang out with, I knew the bad, the ugly, the wicked people. So in my 30s, once bullshit comes, I will smell you and I will know whether you're my friend or an enemy.
I
So I
think
learned
you,
that
I
too.
think as you're getting older, or as you're getting older, basically, I think everybody just lose like patience with people. Like you actually detect like people's BS most from the moment you see them or the moment they even open their mouth, and is something that I would say is good because at least you will not be when you're getting to your 30s, like it's calculated risk because you don't want to take a risk that's to take you back to square one. And going back to square one and you're still now basically time is now running, you're behind because you're trying to catch up on something that should have been avoided for like from a long while. So I guess why you said in your 30s it's more more like this in this situation. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So there's something I wanted to ask. So what's like what's one mistake you've made in your 20s that you're like damn, like now you're thinking like you're trying to you look back and be like damn, did I actually do this thing? And like so what's one thing? Or you can mention two. It can be anything
Actually, okay, I have, so for me, I have like a categories of mistakes that I've decided to bucket these things at. So I would mention, for the sake of privacy, I would mention um, um, I would mention financial mistakes first.
okay.
Ah,
Why does it have to do with money?
and because I think a lot of people can relate to that. That's why. So
Okay.
I'll start with money. I think everybody wants to pay bills. Everybody wants to have money in their pocket. So I'll start with money. Everybody can relate to money, you know.
Mm,
So
sure.
I think I would say one of the biggest mistakes I made in my 20s, I regret, is financial not having financial literacy. You
And
know
that's
why?
yeah.
So in my 20s, dollars wasn't 135, 1,350 naira, 1,000. I can't remember. Last time I got was like 1,450. That was last time I got dollars. But in my 20s, dollars was 400 naira. That's the honest truth. You know, shares that are currently 1,500 were 15 naira and 20 naira in my 20s. Why didn't I buy them? And I knew about them, but I wasn't.
If you see, you're kind of thinking, oh, there's still time.
I
It
was
will not be
waiting.
that bad.
Yes, I was waiting to get big money. I was waiting to get that salary point where my tax, I get to that tax bracket that will be like,
You
this tax
have you
bracket,
have you have some
I
money
can
to
check.
actually set aside.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that from that 5,000, 7,000, 3,000, you can actually save wealth when you get into the right opportunities. I had no idea whatsoever. And that was my biggest regret. I wish I'd invested in financial literacy the way I was investing in clothing and paying my laundryman and buying fuel in my car and buying data. To be honest, I think that was my biggest regret. Then second regret would be not leaving the country.
Yeah, when
Not
you
too
actually
late.
had the opportunity.
It's not too late, but I wish I left the country immediately I finished uni. I wish I did leave because it would have. I would have. Anyway,
But wait, I mean, living in the country
it's
is not
not
a
bad.
problem for you. And
I'm
see, I
just
know it's
saying.
hard, sha, but the kind of living in the country, but Jacob, you can actually still live if you want to live. But like you said, me and money equal at 5 and 6, and I think
Maybe I might leave the country. I might not. Who knows? Let us see what
uh,
Nigeria has for us. We want to
let's
see the
see.
end of certain things first,
What?
because the end of certain things is better than the beginning.
Exactly.
For people who are in my life, you know what I'm talking about. So we're waiting for the end.
Okay.
You know.
So the last, well, that's the second to last question, sha. So there's this thing that at what point? Oh, sorry, rather, sorry. What's one thing the society pressure people to achieve too early? I think this one is quite easy.
Two things actually, is not one. No.
And
Marriage and money. Why?
so
Do
wait, come.
you know?
No, sorry, go on, go on, go on.
So even in the Bible, yeah,
Yeah.
The Bible said something. There will be the rich and poor amongst us. Yes. So I'm not saying that you are meant to be poor, but there's some people. The poor will always be amongst us. Why are you pressuring people? They must make it. What is this? Make it, make it, make it. What does it even actually mean in actual sense, in truancy of things? What does it mean? Go and marry. Go and marry.
And
Go and
and it's
marry.
basically like and it's basically segregated marriage for ladies, money for men. And
Do
without
you
these two things,
understand?
that's how they've like basically
It's
brought
so sad, though.
everybody.
It's so sad. It's
Yeah.
so sad. But marriage is very important, too.
Yeah.
Because, I see marriage as something that is beautiful, ordained by God. When it happens, it should happen naturally because God wanted it to happen. Don't force things, though. Don't go and beg for somebody to marry you or beg for love. Don't beg for love. There's a reason why. Okay. But anyway, I think those are the two huge things that the society really pressures people on. Um, and unfortunately, it's actually from immediate family. You know, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your aunties. Oh, why haven't you made it? What are you up to? And the another thing is that they're not even doing anything about it. There's a reason. There's a picture, and I have a friend currently. His life on this. He just joined life. He moved somewhere. I can't mention the
Yeah.
country. He moved somewhere, and then we're talking about it, about marriage and everything. And then he mentioned something. There is something. There's a feedback when the host speaks. Can he check his? Okay.
Oh, so
There's a feedback microphone. Okay.
I think it's better now.
Okay. Is it better now? Um. So yes. So we were talking about something. So his sister got married,
and his sister had moved outside the country first, before she got married.
Yeah.
No, no, she moved outside the country, then came back, and now she got married. Right now, as I went for that marriage, I knew the reason why people used to jackpot. Because imagine you have gone outside the country, and you're earning a currency that has first name, middle name, and last name, Great British pounds, and you come back to Nigeria to have that wedding. You're having your dream wedding. It might be your dream wedding. You are able to set up a life, particularly for your partner and your children. So
Yeah.
allow people to do it by themselves. Some people don't want to get married, and that is also fine. People need to
Yeah.
want marriage, because marriage is a forever commitment. Is a forever commitment. It's not something you just come go in. No, 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 no. Now for better for worse. So I think people need to just stop pressurizing people to get married, and then of course, money, money.
And that's the thing, and it's painful that most people see without the order, money and marriage is still the same thing. Without the order, they feel like that's the end for them when they are getting
True.
to it. Most people don't even see the value or like the value of like self worth. They feel
Mhm.
marriage makes everything like complete, and that's it's so painful that that's how basically I think that's how all women feel like around the whole world.
True.
They yeah, it's not like an African thing. It's like globally that marriage is an achievement, and which is actually not true. So it's better people actually, see value like in yourself. Have if you have more money, you can see you have money, you can find a man, see I'll pay for you. Just be taking care of my kids at home. A lot of men now are trying to be house like I'll call them house husband or housewife.
You reach to
And
because be man no easy. To be man no
exactly. So
easy.
it's the only thing I would just say that people or women should and most times because of that pressure or from the society, everything is more like, oh them, and they can get easily. That's where heartbreak starts from. They can
Yeah.
any small thing they fall in love so easily, and just give them small attention and everything. So it's just having self worth is I feel is the most important thing every human being should have because it allows you to see things from different perspectives.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Jacob, thank you so much for your time. I would have
Thank you
loved to
so much.
I would have loved to continue this conversation. But anyway, before you go, you always play this song. Hold on, I think shit. Don't worry, I can. It will take a lot of time to set them up. But yeah, thank you so much, Chief Macduff, on there, and Mark Linus. We can see you. Hope you're doing well. Then Chidi, Mr. Wanted, and everybody
Chide.
that
It's Chide.
Chidi, sorry, no Igbo,
Mercy,
my
thank you
Igbo
so much
song.
for joining in. Mercy is my
Sorry.
very good friend.
Okay, nice to meet you. Yeah. So I don't know how to pronounce niche. The one. Sorry, Jacob. You said is one of your colleagues, right? Miss.
Ikere.
Yeah. Okay, Kerry.
Ikere. Ikere.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. It was going to be a very short interview. I really appreciate your time. So I'm going to go off now. But if you want us to continue the conversation, mention in the chat box, or then I could invite someone so that you could like mention your 6 cents and share your thoughts around what you think around everything. Other than that, yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, George. Thank you so much, George. You missed out the entire thing, but yeah, I think there will be a recording, and yeah, that would be shared shortly. Godwin, thank you so much for joining.